But in a trial, your arguments have to be clear and precise. Let's see some of that clarity and precision now, defense. Uh-oh, what do I do? Can you present to us something that could have served as a guide through the darkness? I can. Yes, I can. Because there has to be something. Alright, let's see what you have, defense. What could the victim have been holding that served as a guide through the darkness? The treasure box. It glows in the dark. After all. I believe the victim was holding the treasure box. Hmm? Huh? Huh? Have you gone mad? Well, the box glows in the dark, so you could use it as sort of a beacon. Well, as a sort of beacon. Well, I guess you're right. But why in the world would the victim be holding the treasure box? Oh, well, because your guess is as good as mine. Nonsense and lies yet again. Just give him the death penalty already. Is there no way to win them over? Defense? Are we going to be needing those tongue shears after all? No, your majesty. Yeah man, do it, do it. Then we can jam out to this lawyer's shrieks of pain. Better get those screams of agony out now, lawyer man. Or you still have a tongue to scream with. I guess I'd better come up with a reason. No pressure or anything. As to why the victim was holding the treasure box, it can easily be explained as thus. Brain, don't fail me now. What reason could the victim possibly have had to be holding that treasure box? The victim was holding the treasure box because he was... security guard, the thief. Ooh. It's an idea I just happened to stumble upon. It's the only one that made sense, or that fit. But I think it just might be the answer. And it would turn this whole trial upside down. Hello, defense? Are you still with us? Let's hear this easy explanation you promised. Isn't it possible that it was because the victim himself was the thief? The victim? The thief. I get the feeling the crowd didn't like that. What kind of bully is spewing now? Your Majesty, this guy's off his rocker. If the victim was the thief, everything we've learned so far would all make sense. And it would give us a completely new way to interpret the victim's actions. After the morning dance of devotion, Mr. Roll went to the treasure room. He grabbed the box that contained the treasure and started to take off with it. Then ran into Albie. Then he ran into Albie on the Great Stairs. That's when Mr. Roll pulled his gun on Albie. Then when the blackout occurred... Mr. Roll was bludgeoned to death in the darkness. That explains why the victim would be holding the glowing treasure box in the dark. And how it would have been possible for someone other than the accused to kill him. Do you have any idea what you're saying? You're unbelievable, liar man. I think you've lost it. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Roll trying to roll the temple. That devout believer? That pious Carinist? I won't allow you to disparage the victim's departed soul with unfounded allegations. I hope you're prepared to back up your claim. Of course, your majesty. Oh really? In that case, can we assume that you have proof? Uh-oh. Proof, huh? Do I have any proof? I can't back down now. Yes, I have proof. In my dreams. The proof that Mr. Roll was the thief. may have been left behind on a certain piece of evidence. Very well. Let's see your evidence and be ready to stand behind it. Footprints, fingerprints... I'll take anything at this point. I need proof. Something that would have been involved with the theft. That might still have some trace evidence left on it. Okay, so it's the treasure box, again. What proof do you have that the victim might have been the thief? The defense would like to examine the treasure box. There might be trace evidence on it that would show that the victim had held it. Might. You better hope you turn up something more definitive than that defense. Yes, sir, your majesty. Very well. Bailiff, bring the treasure box. Oh, wow. There you are, defense. You're free to examine it. If I don't find something now, my entire argument up to this point will be blown. Plus, there's that little matter of the old tongue shears. I have to find something. I just have to. Now, to make sure I remember how to do this, I can rotate the evidence by swiping the screen. I can also pinch in and out to zoom in to get a better look. If I ever get too turned around, I can always tap reset to return things to its initial state. Better search every inch of this box carefully, and tap anything of interest to check out in detail. Okay, so that spins it. Woo! Right, well we have the inside. So this is where the Founder's Orb was, huh? I doubt there's any trace of the orb left there, or left here now. Although I don't really know anything about the orb, so who knows? I want to move the hand. Can I move the hand? I guess not. This is the lock. It was forced open. I don't really see anything else of note about it. The lid of the box was forced open. But while the victim was holding the box, the lid must have been closed. We'll try closing the lid too. Hey. What? You son of a... You locked it! So? What's the big deal? I thought you can open it with that key you're wearing. Yeah, I can. No sweat. Then why is there a bucket load dripping off of you over there? I think I'd like to open this box back up again. Could you lend me your Magatama key? Sure. Okay, let's see. Where's the keyhole? Well, it's the Magatama key. So wouldn't it go in the hole above the Magatama mark? Huh? It won't open. Would you look at that? The thief must have busted the lock when they forced the box open. Really? Because I'm not so sure about that. So the murder weapon, not even the Magatama key can open it, glows in the dark. Ah. In any case, I'd better take another good look. I have to find proof that the victim was holding this box. Right. This is the lock. It was forced open. Don't really see anything else of note about it. What about all the blood? There we go. Oh! This bloodstain, it shows the outline of a hand. Could this be what I've been looking for? Your Majesty, take a look at this. There's a bloodstain here that outlines the shape of a hand. Really? Let me see that. Oh my, you're right. Now I'm getting somewhere. Yeah, I don't even know how it was forced open. I believe the bloodstain is an outline of the victim's hand as he was holding the box. What? Even as he was being struck, he held on tight to the precious treasure box. After all, he'd gone through a lot of trouble to steal it. The blood from his head wound splattered across his hand and onto the box. Your Majesty, don't let yourself be taken in. It's just more of his lawyery deceit. What do you mean? Mr. Wright, where is your proof that the outline is that of the victim's hand? What? I should have seen this coming. Oh, I did. I have proof, don't worry. Either show proof or prepare to meet the shears. Or you could save us all some time and bite your tongue out now and submit it instead. That I did not see coming. Well, defense, how about it? Do you have proof that the outline is of the victim's hand? Where would the proof of something like that even be? Please submit your evidence at this time. What evidence shows that the outline on the treasure box is that of the victim's hand? The crime photo! He has a bloody hand. I remember seeing that. I've got it. This is the evidence that's going to save my beloved tongue. Mr. Payne, despite your claims about my forked tongue, it just so happens that I have the proof that you require. You do? That's right. Here in this crime photo. It is? Where? Defense, please point it out. Yeah, he's got a bloody hand. What proves that the bloodstain outline on the box is that of the victim's hand, you ask? This. Not his crotch. There we go. Ta-da! Mr. Payne, take a good look at the victim's hand. See this? That's blood. What? If we place Mr. Roll's hand inside the bloody outline, you think the blood on his hand would complete the splatter? I do indeed. Exactly. Here goes nothing. And if they do form one complete splatter, it would prove my theory correct. Oh dear. Then, the victim really was holding the box. I'm willing to bet my life on it. The defense reasserts that the victim was the thief who stole the treasure box. Wait, is that a wig? I protest. There's no way they would ever match up. I assert that it's patently impossible for something. Talk about tongue karma. It sounds like he just bit his. What's the matter, Mr. Payne? Did your forked tongue get tangled up in there? Or were you trying to submit your own tongue for the court? Or to the court? Right. I can hardly believe it. Apparently not everything out of the defence's mouth is a bluff. Of course not, Your Majesty. This tongue doesn't lie. I'd like to continue to use my tongue in the future too, if you wouldn't mind. He never has to know it really was a bluff. No, not Mr. Roll. I can't believe it. I'm sorry, Albie. I know it's upsetting. Or upsetting news. He must have needed the money badly, probably to support his family. After all, he even gave up his dream of becoming a monk to help them. Hell yeah! We got the judge on our side. Kind of. Oh, so that thing Mr. Roll would say to me. Albie, you train hard and make sure you become a monk one day. Don't end up like me. He'd say. Yeah. He was probably warning you not to end up a thief. Mr. Roll. Now wait just 1 minute. If the victim was the thief, and he was holding the treasure box, then that means Mr. Roll was holding the murder weapon when he was killed. Ooh, that's a very good point. It doesn't make much sense, does it? If the victim was holding the treasure box, it couldn't have been the murder weapon. Which means the real murder weapon must have been something else. The real murder weapon? Was something else? The blood was thought to have gotten on the box when the box was used as a weapon. But it turns out that wasn't the case. The blood splattered onto the treasure box the victim was holding. When he was struck with the real weapon, that's what really happened. Isn't that right, Mr. Understanding? Oh, he's not even sweating. Oh. Are you insinuating that I'm the one who used this real weapon? I am indeed. Are you saying I'm wrong in my understanding? Oh, wow. That was great. You got me riled up, liar man. I feel a song coming on. Looking for a weapon that just don't exist. Pathetic liar man drop into the abyss. Oh, damn. Despicable liar man, yo, you make me sick. You can disappear just like a magic trick. So worthless liar man, done in by a weapon, for you miserable wretch, hell doth beckon. I thought it said hell doth be something. Yeah! Still got the crowd on his side. I know I don't need to remind you, Defense, that your life is on the line. Oh, we know. I know, your Majesty. Yet you're prepared to risk it on this mere idea of a real murder weapon. Death to the lawyer. Great, he's starting up this again. This is it. The moment of truth. I can't back down, not now. Yes, your Majesty, I am. I'm confident the real murder weapon does indeed exist. That's a bold claim, Mr. Wright. Now, let's see you back it up. Show us which piece of evidence points to this real murder weapon. Gladly. If I knew which one it was. What would somebody like Understanding use to bludgeon someone? Now then, Defense, please submit your evidence to the court. Yeah, let's see it, lawyer man. Let's see this thing that shows the real murder weapon you say I used. Okay, if I had to guess... Oh! Wait a minute. Did he... He never mentioned anything about the guitar. And I'm almost certain he made it sound like the guitar he's using now was the one he was using on the ceremony, but the guitar's different. That one's spiked. The one he's using now is round. Did he hit him so hard that it broke? So he had to use a different one? That's why I went to the music storeroom? Ah. What I'm about to present is really nothing more than a possibility. But this thin thread is all I've got. I mean, he is using a different guitar, which is suspect. Allow me to direct the court's attention to this photo of the morning dance of devotion. That photo? How is that going to help you, Mr. Wright? There's something about it that doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, look at the shape of this guitar, it's like a tear. Oh yeah? And what's this something? This thing here is odd, to say the least. Yeah, this thing right here is the odd thing. No, the guitar is. Mostly because it's a different guitar entirely. Mr. Understanding. Why is the instrument you're holding different from the one you're playing in the photo? There we go. Would you look at that? They're completely different shapes. I noticed that the first time I saw the photo, but didn't say anything, so I was like, maybe he just uses that one for the morning ceremonies or whatever. I had no idea. I believe you said your Darmelin was your one and only. I did forget about that, however. Well, Mr. Understanding, what do you have to say to that? Death to the lawyer. I got nothing to say. Then allow me to answer for you. They're different because the one in the photo is no longer in playable condition. What the fuck? Oh, damn. Oh. Not after you used it to bludgeon Mr. Roll to death. God, he looks jacked. Would that not break the guitar? Maybe that's what he means by no longer playable. Oh, he's sweating. My old partner wasn't doing so hot, so I brought her sister along, that's all. Not a big deal, lawyer man. Okay, go fetch the other one then. In that case, please submit your old Darwin to this court as evidence. God, it's like me and Phoenix are the same person. Too bad. You're too late. I got rid of her yesterday. But why would you get rid of her if she just wasn't feeling too hot? You what? Burned her up with the rest of the trash. Okay, he's basically just admitting to his guilt. Ashes to ashes, baby. He's already destroyed the evidence. What the— is that not suspicious to anybody? And I see more trash right here in this court that needs to be burned in the fires of hell. Lawyer trash. Now there's no proof to show. Wait, what? Is that not proof enough? How suspicious is that? After using it when it was perfectly fine, he burns it for no fucking reason. I never understood that. Like, yes, it's conjecture, but even still, it's gotta be suspicious. Now there's no proof to show. Oh, come on. That was pathetic. Your agony can sound better than that. Whoa. Where's that great scream of yours? This can't be how it ends. God, this is one hell of a tutorial trial. It's been 3 hours. I think I've heard enough. It seems the defense is unable to produce the evidence it needs to prove its assertion. But your Majesty, that's only because the witness destroyed it. Evidence is everything in court. Don't tell me you've forgotten this most fundamental principle of our profession. Without sufficient proof, your claim that Mr. Understanding is the murderer is no more than conjecture. Well, shit. There's the pained expression I've been looking for. By the way, there seems to be one more thing you're forgetting. What is it now? You accuse Mr. Understanding of being the thief. But the real thief turned out to be the victim. Uh-oh. And with that, Mr. Understanding's purported motive for murder goes out the window. Great point, prosecutor. You tell him. If I had been there, I would have just collared Roll and gotten the treasure back. There wasn't any reason for me to kill him now. Was there? There's no good counter-argument to that. It sounds to me like Mr. Understanding has been completely wrongfully accused. Unfortunate as it may be, I think it's time to hand down the verdict in this case. Not good, not good. Defense, I trust you understand what you yourself will receive for taking on this case. My god. They really do want our head. What do I do? The murder weapon's been destroyed, and now I've got no motive. Pot Albie will be convicted, and I'll lose my life too. Mr. Wright, you've wasted this court's time and disparaged everything we hold sacred. We should charge you with lese majesty, in addition to the crime of abetting the accused. Yeah, you should pay for desecrating my good name. Bye-bye, lawyer man. Time for you to do some repenting in the Twilight Realm. Wait. This guy is guilty as sin. I just know it. He must have had some reason to kill Mr. Roll, but what? Come on, people. Let me hear you scream and shout. Time to take this lawyer trash out. My god. Oh boy. The thing to do at a time like this is to turn my thinking around. I shouldn't be trying to figure out what understanding's motive was. I should be thinking about what kind of situation would give him a motive. Did you steal it? He said. We know that Mr. Roll was the thief, and that he had gotten his hands on the box. So then, why? Why in the world did he ask Albie that question? What about the treasure box would have prompted him to? There was no treasure inside it. Defense, what's gotten into you? It was empty. Now I get it. Now it all makes sense. Like, poor Conker, man. What you trying to say? Muttering and squealing to yourself sounds like you knocked something loose upstairs. Your Majesty. Please hold off on your ruling for just a little while longer. Don't tell me you're going to start begging for your life now. No. No, Your Majesty, that's not it. It's just that I realised something important. We've been operating under a serious misconception this whole time. A misconception, you say? That's right. A mistaken notion about the treasure box. But could this really be true? If so, there's still a lot to figure out. Very well, let's hear what you have to say. Thank you, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, this is just more of his nonsense. He's just stalling for time. This is your last chance, Defense. The second I find it really is nothing but nonsense. No amount of begging will stay my hand. Understand? Yes, Your Majesty. We all know there's just going to be another one of your stupid bluffs. Now then, Defense. What is this misconception you mentioned? The thing we didn't realise about the treasure box was that it was empty. What if the treasure box was already empty from the start? What? Please recall that when Mr. Roll ran into Albie on the Great Stairs, he asked the boy a question. Did you steal it? He said. Also recall that Mr. Roll was holding the treasure box at the time. So why then did he ask Albie the question that he did? That is a bit peculiar, isn't it? Not at all, Your Majesty, not once you realise that. By the time Mr. Roll got to the treasure room, the treasure box was already empty. I beg your pardon? Mr. Roll suspected that Albie had gotten to it first, which is why he confronted Albie when he ran into the boy on the stairs. But how would the victim have known the treasure box was empty? He didn't have any way of opening it. Once a year, the victim had the duty of carrying the treasure box to the palace. He was so proud when he was put in charge of guarding the treasure box. He even got to carry the box to the palace for the New Year's rite. He would have been able to tell by the weight when he lifted it that the box was empty. Ah, I see. Yes, I suppose he would have been able to tell, wouldn't he? Mr. Roll most likely decided to at least steal the empty box. It's an important historical artifact in and of itself, after all. But what's your point, Mr. Wright? What does any of this have to do with Mr. Understanding? My point is this. It gave Mr. Understanding a motive to murder the victim. A motive? Mr. Understanding, keeping the treasure safe is one of your duties, isn't it? So if anyone had found out that the treasure was missing, you would have been accused of incompetence. From the moment Mr. Roll discovered that the treasure was gone, his fate was sealed. Because you decided then that he had to be silenced forever. But that's absurd. God, we still have a fair bit to go. Can you believe the stuff that comes out of this guy's mouth? This is all just a colossal joke. So then, what really happened to the treasure? It had been stolen long before this incident occurred. By Mr. Peaslebin Understanding himself. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to accuse Mr. Understanding? Your Majesty, please don't listen to these trumped-up charges. The defense is grasping. The treasure box can only be opened with the key Mr. Understanding holds. Who else could have stolen the treasure? As I said, the accused stole the treasure by forcing open the box. Your Majesty, I call for a swift ruling. I'm not ready to give my verdict yet. But... Poor guy. The defense has successfully presented a new possibility in this case. Yes, finally, a tiny shred of hope. Mr. Understanding, would you care to make any statements in response to the defense's claims? Oh. Breakdown? Is he breaking down? Woo! Oh. This is all bull. My noggin's a rage cage and it's ready to explode, baby. Instructor Understanding, please calm yourself. I'm not gonna take it. No, I ain't gonna take it. My god, how many music references? I dutifully watched over that